Hello and welcome to Mark No Horsemanship. Here we are with Solomon. He's a 5-month-old, is that right, Berg?
Mm-hmm.
5-month-old foal that we foaled out here, Weanling that we foaled out here. He's by our stallion, Otto, or Odie we call him. And also out of one of our brood mares, which is Dandy. She's a Peppy Sand Badger and Dock Bar bred mare that goes back to Patty's Irish Whiskey and some pretty good bloodlines there. Odie goes back to Poco Bueno and just some awesome foundation bloodlines. What the video today is about, and before I get started, this colt here is up for your consideration. Like I said, he's 5 months old. And we weaned him about a week and a half ago, and we wean in a process of just taking the mare away from the baby. Simple as that. So today what we're going to be doing is, yesterday we're going to be haltering these foals and working with them. I have a different way than what I've ever seen anyone work with foals to teaching them to lead. I'm not saying I'm the only one that does it this way, but it's rare when you do see someone do it the way that I've learned to do it. And I kind of taught myself this, and yesterday we did get a halter on each one of them, and I wanted to video that, but I did not. We did not. I'm not trying to hide anything. We just didn't do it. But today will be the second time they've ever had a halter on in their life. We don't really believe in, I ain't gonna say believe, but I don't care for to mess with these things, you know, while they're with mama. What hands-on they've had has been one time when we wormed them, and just out in the field when we'd go feed and be with their mares, we would, you know, rub on them and pet on them and a little bit, but never hindered, never cornered, never, you know, made to stand still while you rubbed them. Never, nothing like that. We don't imprint them. I see it being a downfall to when they come to me as 2-year-olds or someone like me that starts colts for a living. I see them be a little bit dead, a little bit spoiled, and just don't care for it. So we just wait till they're weanlings and we start weaning them and start messing with them. Now you can see he's not exactly buck wild, and I have to give all the credit to that to the stallion, Odie. So far what we've seen, these foals have been pretty good minded, and if you are interested in breeding your mare in the spring to a stallion, I believe in my heart of hearts that you'll get a good-minded, good-bred, good, well-balanced foal out of it. So that's what we're trying to do. So I'm just going to get started here, and first off, I just want to see if I can rub him. Yesterday, like I said, was the first day that he'd ever had a halter on, and I'm just going to kind of rub right here and then simply walk away. Now you can see, like I said, he's just not buck wild at all. As a matter of fact, he's wanting to come over and investigate now. And I want to repeat it again. This will be the second time that he's ever had a halter on. And when you see him getting alarmed like that, I don't like to make a big fuss out of it. Right here, we're just going to let him walk off. Of course, with all horses, whether they be this big or this big, you always have to be careful about the hind end. You'll see me putting myself in situations that most people wouldn't, but I've just learned to work around these things. I could get kicked now standing here, but I have learned to work around these things to where I read these animals, and I pretty much can understand and know the ones that I have to be considerably worried about. First off, you got to watch the ears, and when you see them tinning or the tail swishing, that's a telltale sign that they may be getting a little bit flustered or a little bit aggravated. So that's when you would want to back off. Now, if he don't allow me to just to walk up and hinder him in this corner and work with him here, then I'll just go back to how I caught him yesterday, and that was flipping this rope across his neck and grabbing it underneath and just holding him to me around the base of his neck and holding him to me while I made him understand that he needed to stay with me. So right here, we're just going to come in here. I'm going to give him one more opportunity to stand here and tolerate this rubbing. And like I say, we'll just come in here and just keep working with him in a way. Like right here, he wants to investigate. So I'll just turn around and let that be a pretty good sign that he's just kind of wanting to get along here. And I like that about these colts so far. They're just real good mannered. Right here, I'll present myself again, and hopefully he'll let me slide this halter under his neck right here. He kind of caught on to what I was doing right there, and that's okay. He'll get better about it. I'm not concerned. I'm not panicked. We're just going to stay right here, step in front of him, block him right here. Those things are going to happen with colts. So we're just going to come in here and continue this and see if we can't just talk him into standing here and just work with him. Right here, I'm going with him. He might figure out that he can't get out right there. I like to do it this way other than roping them. If I have to throw a rope, this long rope across his neck here in a minute, I will. But I'd rather get them to where they want to stand and they will stand. Like right here, got that right there. Now, if I can just sort of stay with him right here. Just stay with him. Just stay with him. It's all right. That's all right. Just gathering our thoughts. Yesterday was the same way. And go at this again. The reason most people want to fool with them earlier is it's not as hard. It's not as hard to do this. I don't mind the hardness or the difficulty, I should say, as compared to a dead horse that really just don't want to cooperate and get along with the program. Right here, we'll just stay in here. We'll just stay right here now. Now, let's see how this works. We got that rope across his neck. Now I'll just start pulling him to me right here. Now we'll let him think about that. I like how he's looking at me. Again, we went through the same ordeal yesterday, and it'll get better and better every day. So now we're just going to get situated here. Kind of got this thing on the wrong way as far as the rope goes, but we'll just come in here and get this on his nose here. Right here, just scoop that nose right up. It's all right. We'll just keep that on him right there now. Okay. Now we'll just come in here again. Scoop that nose up. It's usually that nose that gets him. I don't make a fuss out of it. Now look at it. He's being okay. You want to get this tied on there as quick as you can. Now we've got that foal. We've got that Weanling haltered. Now what? Well, this is where I really like it. Just right here. Now if you notice already, he's standing with that nose bent to me. That's a good sign that yesterday's lesson worked, because the weight of that rope right there, of me teaching him to give yesterday, is already working. So let me talk about this just a minute. This is where I get excited. I was glad to be able to get the halter on him, but this is the part that I really wanted to talk about first. Now, years ago, when I used to help at a particular barn get foals leading, one would lead and the other one would follow with a corn broom. And when they'd stop, somebody'd whack them on the butt with a corn broom. It worked. We got foals leading like that. But I'm all about hindquarters. I can't preach enough about hindquarters of a horse. So if you can get the hindquarters unstuck, the rest will come with it. So what I like to do to these young horses is I like to come in here and I like to what? I like to get that hindquarter to step across. I've got his nose held, but I'm not pulling there. I'm waiting on him to want to get out of this situation. So I'm just going to ask his hindquarter right here. I may just put my finger on it and ask that hindquarter to what? Step across. Cluck and smooch right there. And we're just going to take him in a circle right here. We're going to see if he can get out of this situation. Get him unstuck here today. Right there goes the hindquarter. That's pretty good. Pretty good. I like that. So you see him staying bent right there. He's like, okay, I'm trying to get along with this deal. Now I'm just going to ask him to what? Step over with that hindquarter. Step over, step over, step over, right there. Good boy. Good boy. Now right here, when he was supposed to walk away from you, just simply hold the rope. It's so crucial that you have good hands, that you have good feel, and that you have good timing doing this, because if you don't watch, you'll get them in the rafters and they may flip over. I had one, a 2-year-old, do that back in late winter, I guess early spring, and it was a nightmare. He's recuperating now from it. He hit his head on the ground and it set us way back. So that's why you don't want to put too much pressure on these weanlings. So right here, I'm going to ask this hind quarter, I'm going to ask you to bend this away and get that hind quarter right there unstuck. There it comes. That's good. He's almost ready. He's almost ready to what? Let's see if I can get one lead forward. One lead forward. See, this is teaching him to give the pressure. 1 foot forward. 1 foot forward. 1 foot forward, not backwards. Now when they do that, I don't sit and wrestle them. I go where? Go back to this hind quarter. Step this hind quarter across. Right here, just hold him, not too much. Step this hind quarter across. Here it comes. Here it comes. There you go. There you go. Step this hind quarter across. Right there. Good boy. I'll let him stand there and think about that a moment. These are some really good-minded foals, weanlings. And again, they are up for your consideration. We didn't raise them to keep them. We'd like to. We kind of fall in love with all of them, especially the good ones. I just want to talk about him a minute. He's a little stallion colt. These Cremellos, as you all know out there, they're guaranteed pillar producers. You get you some good bred bay mares and you're almost guaranteed a buckskin. Get you some black mares and you may get a smutty buckskin or a smoky black or black. You get you some bay roans and you can get what's the chances with a bay roan, Burgundy?
Like a buckskin roan. Like
a buckskin roan. They are guaranteed color producers. You breed them to a Palomino and you either get a Palomino or a Cremello.
Or a sorrel is guaranteed a Palomino.
And a sorrel is guaranteed a Palomino. So guaranteed color producers. Our stallion, he is also American Paint Horse certified. And just consider him for your breeding your mares, and also pass the word along about these folks. I'm going to be working with another one that I'll tag along in this video here. It'll be the same video here shortly.
And they are, I just want to add, they both are AQHA registered. We've already got Solomon's papers back.
That's right.
We're still waiting on Jubilee's. Hers will go through. Hers is taking a little longer.
That's right. So right here, we're just going to use this corner for advantage. And we'll see if he can get himself out of this corner. Look how good that coat is yielding those hind quarters. Look at that. Ain't that something? Now you might say, well, Mark, when you going to lead him? Well, right here, I'm going to show you how I started. As he's spiraling around, we'll get this one more step right here. Right here. Now I'm just going to see if I can get right there. 1 foot forward. 1 foot at a time. And I've done foals like this, our own, and I've also done other people's for them. And I can't talk about it enough, what a good way of teaching them to lead. Because you're what? You're taking that resistance away. Horses are born with resistance. And by getting to their hind quarter, right here, 1 step, 1 step, 1 step. Oh, come on, give me 1 step. We'll let him sit there just a minute. Right there, 1 step. Good. Now this is how it typically goes. We work with them a couple days with the hind quarters, and then we'll get a 1 step or 2 out of them, and they move right along. So right here, we're going to work on this hind quarter. I'm just going to ask him to step out of this. Might take this rope, flop it against him. Now these foals, if you were to get one from us, they will be leading. They will be picking up their feet. They will have a very limited amount of round pin work, ground work done with them, like a little bit of, if you want to call it lunging, you can. Direct and drive is what I like to call it. Flexing a little bit, and they're already flexing. Look at this coat here. He's already lighter than some 10 or 12-year-olds that you may be riding. They will be doing all this, and all you got to do is be the owner of them. Now right here, we're going to hold. hold. Right there's the step. All you got to do is come and, of course, do the deal and lead them out, load them on your trailer. All the hard work's done. Take them home, let them grow, and hopefully bring them back to me to let me start. As 2-year-olds. Don't have to do that. That's just an added bonus right there. So right here, we're going to come in here and we'll get this hind quarter again. Now we're about done with this session with him. I don't believe in doing too much. I ain't no hurry. They ain't got to leave here tomorrow or the next day. So I'm in no hurry. Get that hind quarter unstuck. Let's see if he'll lead forward out of that. One step, one step, one step, one step. Hold him right here. Hold him right here. It looks horrible. Hold him right here. Let's see if we can get it. Just one step. You can't go backwards. Right there it is. Let's see if we can get another one. Let's see if we can get another one. Forward, forward, forward. Right there. Good boy.
Good
Look
job.
at that. That was a good try. Good try. Now, I'm putting a little bit of pressure on him, yes, but my hands are experienced enough that when I feel like that for one, I ain't gonna put too much pressure on them. But if I feel like they're starting to get airborne on me, I just release. My timing and my feel has been honed in on and over the years to where it's, you know, a little bit quicker. Look at here, a little bit quicker than most. And if you notice, I don't pull directly ahead on them. I'll step from side to side to try to encourage that foot. Try to encourage that left front over there, right there. Try to encourage this right front. Now watch this. Right there, good boy. We'll rub him there. Now if you also notice, I've got a rope halter on him. A lot of people think that may be a little harsh for a baby. Hey, but I like to think of it this way. If you get these things not resisting at first, take the resistance plumb out of them at first. I didn't say with cruelty, I didn't say with abuse, but with the right kind of hands on them, these things will never learn to be heavy on you with them rope halters. So right here, we're gonna go back to the hind quarter here briefly, but I'm starting to get this front end a little bit unlocked right here. Look at him licking those lips. Gonna ask him to lead out right here. See if we can get here it comes. Almost that left front over there, there it came. It's almost like just little bits at a time. That's okay. Gonna pull him right here. Now look at there, look at there. Good boy. Good boy. That deserves a big old rub. And I do also believe in that. For those of you that's commented before and said I never reward my horses and never rub on them. Now these foals, I do rub on them. Did I say I spoiled them or did I pet them? No, I do let love travel through my hand into them and let them know that they did a good job and I much appreciate them. I like to start touching all these areas that most of the time they're funny about, which right there was his belly. And right here, this would be a prime time to use this halter and say, no, where are you going? Come back over here to me. Come back over here to me. Here it comes. Here it comes. Hang on. Here it comes. Here it comes. There it comes. There it comes. One more step. There it comes. Right here. It's okay. They got to do that every now and then. They got to do that. They got to do that. That's all right. That's all right. So we'll come in here. Now, I won't lollygag on this front end too long. Look at there. Look at there. I'll go to that rear end, that hind quarter. Right there. Right there. That's a good boy. Let's see if we can finish it up. He's having a moment right here, and that's okay. That's that resistance. That's that I ain't giving up, or the wolves are going to get me. Fight in them, and that's okay. I've seen it a whole lot worse. Just going to wait on it right here. There we go. Look at there. Look at there. I think it would be a fine place to quit. Let me turn him around here so y'all can see his face. Get this hip over. Get this hip over. Right there, you gotta be careful. It's all right. Just asking him to unlock that hip. There it comes. Now, right there. So there's Solomon, 5-month-old weanling. Been weaned for a week and a half. Second time with the halter. We're just gonna keep on working with him. We're in no hurry. You always want to quit on a good note. And I think he's doing just fine. So I'll take this halter off of him. I like to keep him right here with me. I like to turn their heads to me, just like that, as I'm taking that halter off, rub all these little itchy spots away where that halter was, and say thank you. So y'all, we're gonna get situated with the other foal, and we'll be right back. Hello and welcome back. Here we are with Jubilee. She's another one of our little fillies that we foaled out here on the farm, and we own her mother, and she's also by our stallion, our Oto stallion. She is almost 6 months old. Pretty sure she's going to be a gray like her mama. Unfortunately, our other page has been unpublished by Facebook, or I would tell you to go back and look. But I tell you where you can see her mama at is on our profile picture on Mark Knoll Horsemanship and Knoll Family Quarter Horses. I wanted to announce that on the first foal and I forgot, but of course if you're watching this, you have found it. So, but anyway, but you can see her mama in that picture, or profile picture. I was riding her mama at the time. She was my personal mount for quite some time. I got her as a 2-year-old, and she's 13 now, and she's had two babies.
She's had 3 babies.
3 babies, sorry. And this is her 3rd one. So this is Jubilee, same as yesterday. We got a halter on her, and this will be her 2nd time haltering, and all that. So we're gonna work with her about the same as we did Solomon just now. So I'll just come in here and see if she'll allow me to pet her. She's always been pretty friendly, probably a little bit too friendly. And like I said, we don't mess with these things. I'm gonna let her smell my halter here. That needs to be a good thing. She don't need to be alarmed of it. And we don't mess with these things too awful much when they're with their mama. So I'm just gonna simply go around her right here while the opportunity allows me to. I'm gonna quieten down my voice a little bit. And just try to capture this nose. Good, she stood still right there. So I'll just try to capture this nose. I like to bring them to me and kind of do it more like this to where I can control them and capture that nose just like that. Now, that's good. They always kind of want to blow back like that a little bit when you first put it on their nose. Their nose is a very sensitive area that they're really worried about, because I think it's just their nature. They're always wanting to protect their nose, and rightly so. There's a lot that can be harmed there. So that's why we have to be careful. But for the 2nd time haltering, I just don't really think you could beat that. Yesterday was a little bit more lively. You know, we had her kind of bouncing around the stall here. I just took a long rope like this and flip it over to her back, and then I reach under here and grab it, and I just start holding them to me, pulling them to me, and kind of cornering them up and rubbing them. And that's what we did yesterday. So right here, we're just going to rub on her and let her know that everything's cool. Like I said, on the Solomon, the other video, I am not in a hurry. Nobody has. This filly also, when we say that real quick, she's up for y'all's consideration as well. But no one is, knocking down the doors just yet to come and get them. So I'm in no hurry. Even if they had to leave now, which I wouldn't let them, because I like to put my stamp on them that they're leading, picking up their feet, and you're able to handle these folks. So right here, we're just gonna come in here, same as I did Solomon, and I'm gonna be working on this hip. Got to get this hip unstuck. So I'm just gonna come to the side right here and simply hold and see if I can get that hip. Look at there. Get that hip to move over. There it comes. There it comes. I'm gonna do a complete 360 here. Now look at the lightness on the end of this rope. Right there went that hip. That was wonderful. She's going to be just like her mama. I can vouch for her mama because I owned her since she was 2. She's just a good-natured, good, well-balanced, in the mind kind of horse. She's never offered to hurt anybody. And you can tell by looking at this filly right here, her intentions is not to hurt anybody either. And they are performance bred. Her mama is a Freckles Playboy bred mare. And Oto, like I said, he goes back to the daddy, our stallion. The sire, he goes back to Poco Bueno. And Oto, Oto is on his papers. Oto, was his great-grandfather. It's either great or great-grandfather. And Oto was known for racing, and also he ended up being a champion in halter classes. So confirmation is there. I like him because he puts a lot of bone in them. I'm tired of seeing these little quarter horses bred like deer legs. They got little old spindly legs. I'm just trying to do my little part with 3 brood mares and 1 stallion to put some bone back in the breeding. So
Jubilee's kind of special in her way though, because she does have the stoutness in the bone structure that comes from her sire, but she's a little bit more refined like her mama. So
that's right.
She's pretty, I mean, they're both, all 3 foals are athletic, but she's going to be a little bit more refined.
And we do have another one, but she's a month behind these, so we haven't weaned her yet. She's going to be a, believe it or not, I think she's going to be a golden palomino, or excuse me, a chocolate palomino. Beautiful, beautiful filly. And I'd love to keep her, but I think I've decided that I don't need to, and we'll maybe keep one another year. But right here, we'll work on this hind quarter again, see if she can think herself out of this, and just get this hind quarter unstuck. Ain't that pretty? Second time with the halter on, you just really can't beat that. Let's go over here and get this side unstuck. Just gonna pull that head around. You notice I just walk. I just kind of walk and say, hey, come here, follow me. But at the same time, I'm putting a little bit of pressure on them. Let's see if I can get a step forward, get that right front right here. Get that right front, here it comes. Get this left front now, right there is a step forward. So we'll just stop and work on that. Once I get their rear end unstuck, usually that's when I'll start pulling from the front, but I don't play tug of war with them. It's a little bit of a give, a little bit of a take in there, give and take. And right here, we'll just spiral her right out of this corner and see if we can get a step forward right there. Look at there. Good. This is the way I teach all of them to lead. And if you do it like this, they automatically will tie. Now, a lot of people don't believe that, but I don't believe you have to actually teach a horse to tie. If you get the pressure given to pressure taught correctly, I don't think tying's an issue. Now, there's a time that they'll test it, you know, but if you got your pressure given the pressure taught correctly, then once they sit on it, I believe that if you've done your homework, they'll automatically give to that. Maybe a little bit of a fight for a second, and then they'll give to it. I don't believe it'll be a big deal. I've never seen tying a colt, a big deal after you've taught them to give in this hip and give on that nose to this pressure. So right here we go. We're gonna spiral her out of that and see if we can't get a little bit of a forwardness right. I'll walk to this side. Now, if you noticed, I'm not giving with my rope, even though she's backed up right there. Right here, let's see if we can get it unstuck on this side. Get a little bit of a forward right here. You just got to be careful that they don't shoot backwards with you right there. Good girl. Now, I fooled with a lot of, she didn't like that yesterday, me rubbing her on the forehead, but she's tolerating it today. I've started a few of our stallions' offspring, 2-year-olds and 3-year-old, before we owned our stallion. And I always enjoyed starting those colts. There's a lady that we know that would bring them to me, or the people that would buy them from her would bring them to me. And I always had fun starting them. There was always a pleasure. There was always, I ain't gonna say easy, but you never had to worry about a lot of bucking. You know, just you had to worry more about a little bit of forwardness. And I don't mind that. I don't mind to teach a horse to go forward. I'd rather teach one to go forward than to always be worried about it running off. So we'll just come in here and work on this hip right here, get her out of this corner. Now, if y'all are wondering if these babies are stalled, let's see if I can get a step forward, right there. Get this right front right here, right there, good. If anybody ever wonders if these babies ever see the light of day, yes, they do. We'll video that here as we get ready, and we'll just turn these things right out, and got a nice little lot right here for them to be in, and we'll turn them out and let them have the whole afternoon up till the sun goes down this evening outside. A little hot right now, but it's starting to taper back off here in another hour and start getting cooler, and they'll be nice and comfy out there. So let's just keep working here. About done with this filly today too. Just gonna see if she can work herself out of that. See if I can spiral her right out into this leading right here. She wants to sit back there just a little bit. hold her right here. Just ask her to give in that right front. I'm asking for a little more this time. I'm asking for a little more. Let's see if we can get that front end coming to me a little bit. It's all right. It's okay. Don't panic. She knows she can't go backwards. Let's see if she'll come out of that corner. Just hold her right here. Just hold her right there. Look at there. Now, look at here. Look at here. That's good stuff. Just keep. There we go. Now, if you notice her mouth opening, that's resistance. That's where doing it this young. Look at here. Look at here. Look at there. Good girl. Look at her mouth. That's a little bit of resistance right there. That's okay. It's not too bad. Now, that deserves a big old rub and a break. And I wished I could keep her. She reminds me so much of her mama. When I look at her between the ears and down the side of her eye right there, she reminds me so much of her mama. The way her back's made, everything. And I really loved her mama, still do. And she's a good mare. She's got her quirks, but you just got to know how to work around her. And I like this little filly right here. Let's see if I can get her one more time to lead forward here. Just hold right here. Just gonna hold. Look at there. Good girl. She'll be following us around, following me or leading around this stall in no time, and then I'll start leading them outside. And hopefully here in another week, believe it or not, we'll be leading. Look at there. We'll be leading them up to the barn to work them in the pen a little bit. We have to lead them up the road here, but that'll be all right. Look at there. Good girl. She just wants to be part of the program. So I'm going to let that be a good session. This is the second time on both of these foals that they'd ever had a halter on. Never been messed with out in the field much either. So that speaks multitudes about their breeding, and it also speaks multitudes about us, how we work around them even when they're outside. When we feed these mares and their mamas, the mares with their babies by them like these were, you know, we're constantly in them. It's kind of like feeding cattle. You know, the more you're in them and around them, the more they're not really that worried about you being around, but you may not be able to touch them and hold them, you know, and hold to them, but you can be around them. So that's the main thing.
But speak just a second about being around them as opposed to letting them maul all over you.
That's right. You know, that's a good point. Now, I see that happening a lot when people are out in the field with their babies. You know, they let them colts, you know, if you got a field of yearlings or a field of 2-year-olds, they let them 2-year-olds come down there and them colts just maul all over them and push around on them. I don't care if you're out in the field and they've never been handled or anything. You might think, well, I don't want to spook them away because I'm afraid that I'll get them to where they don't want to be around me. Well, you better, because like Burgundy said, all that mauling over you and pushing around on you, it's not good. It just teaches them to disrespect you. So just like right here, if this filly was to be pushing around on me, I would start what? I'd start bumping and getting her off of me. You might say, well, you just got a halter on her. Ain't that going to make her not want to be haltered? No, it's going to really build that respect and that discipline that you need in these foals. So it's not rocket science, like I've always said, or I couldn't be doing it. So there's Jubilee and Solomon, second time haltering them. And I really appreciate you all. Like and share this page. We're trying to build this page back up after Facebook hoodooed me yesterday on unpublishing my first page. All my pictures and videos that y'all had seen in the past are wiped out and gone. Well, not really, because, well, I won't go into detail on that. I still have them on my phone, but I just can't publish them. But I may start trying to figure out how I can bring them off there and maybe put them on YouTube. And that's another thing too. We have a YouTube page. Channel, sorry. And it's under Mark Knoll Horsemanship and Knoll Family Quarter Horses. Quarter horse is abbreviated. The quarter part it's QTR. And so it's Mark Knoll Horsemanship and Knoll Family Quarter Horses. I have all kinds of sermons on there, sermons in the barn. There's a video of our girls on there. There's an old video of me riding a 2-year-old about probably 3 years ago now. And we're going to start putting videos on there and then just sharing them to our Facebook. So we're trying to build that YouTube channel up. So if you would, get on there, subscribe, hit the like button. And we really appreciate you all for watching. And God bless you. All right, you guys, y'all can have the afternoon out. There they are. Nice little foals. We'll get busy. We'll get busy cleaning these stalls now. Y'all have a good day.